everyone, and welcome back to the AOR F1 League. We're here for the Italian Grand Prix, Monza. Very long straights indeed. Very classic circuit as well. It's been there since the start of Formula 1. It's going to be light cloud throughout the race and throughout qualifying, because that's just how it is, and you have to deal with it. Circuit Monza, 5.793 kilometers, 14 turns, many of long straights, of course. Fastest lap times. Kimi beat the average lap time, so the average speed around this lap. Oh, there's only 11 corners, but average speed around this lap time this season was 262.5 kilometers. Absolutely insane, and that's just the normal speed. Coming into qualifying, it's time to go for first qualifying run, and at this point I have to say I wasn't feeling very good, because first of all, I hadn't done any practice around this track. I don't like this track, and I hadn't done any practice. Second of all, I hadn't slept for 36 hours because I was up all night watching Daytona 24 hours with a friend. And then third of all, as I said, I'm not good at this track. I don't like this track. So it's all the three things that this race, this was the best qualified to be the worst race of the season, and it was by a mile. But you can see first lap not so good, gets us up into 10th place. Now here we are at second up on this second lap. So until now this lap is looking very good indeed. We're in second up, and so we'll come into the last corner, throw around, come off tenths away, which only gets us up to 8 tenths up. And as we come over the line, it's going to be an improvement, but only going to send us up to 5th place, 9 tenths off pole position this time. But I believe we can get closer. We can get way closer, and I knew where, because it was quite easier to find out where I made the mistakes and all that stuff. Anyway, settling into qualifying. I was about to say settling into qualifying. Well, that's not a thing that you can do really, but settling into qualifying, I guess. We come over the line now. Improved by just the smallest bit ever. We improved by like 0.01 seconds at this point. But the positive thing is that these lap times kept getting faster and faster. Now we're up by 4 tenths as I kept going on to another one. But you can see we're 7th place, and we're only 4 tenths off pole position. So until now it's extremely close, and if we could improve by just 5 tenths, that would have been very dope. That was on our cooldown lap, actually on our in lap, and you can see how big of a moment that just was. I wasn't looking at the circuit for some reason. I was looking at something else, and that was our cooldown lap, or our in lap at that point. We'll come into the pits to another set of super soft tires. We don't need to qualify on the soft or the mediums, because tire strategy anyways is super soft to medium on the track. At least it was in my career mode, season 4 or season 3, because season 4 was wet. But season 3 career mode was soft to medium, but of course super soft to medium. But we don't know about strategy tire wear yet. Eventually qualifying was our teammate qualifying in 3rd place. We qualified down in 9th place, so that's eventually pretty good, but it is not, of course, the most important factor of the race. It's time to get into the race here, the Monza Grand Prix. Strategy, as I said, super soft to the medium tires. We'll see how it goes, and that is all fine and all that jazz. But it is 5 red lights, and away we go to the formation lap. It's time to heat up the tires as well, so we can be able to do this, and we'll be able to hold this one. The tires needs to be held up and held up warm. A bit of a moment right there as we now come up to the starting grid. Here we are on the grid, lap number 1 out of 27. It is 5 red lights, and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix in the AOR season. It's a good getaway from us in comparison to the Cyber, but there's a Williams going around the outside. Into the first corner we go, and many people were not going to be going for the gap down the inside, but people braking a little bit earlier than us. We need to be very careful through here. We make a bit of contact. It's getting very close. We make a bit of contact with the Williams, not anything detrimental. We get boxed in out of turn 2, and that's a clean race start and a half right there. You can see we're still side by side almost with Major Groove. Through Parabolica we go. He's on the super soft tires as well, that little pleb, just like I am, so maybe we're all just plebs. He goes for a dive down the inside of the chicane. You need to be a maniac to do that, or maybe I'm just the stupid one here, but very daring move from him. That was kind of a lovely one, but you can see he came back for the switchback on the exit of that one. So now we have Williams in front of us that we need to see if we can overtake down this next straight. But we don't have to be too aggressive, because that might just be the end of the race. Now we have the slipstream on, and we're approaching, we're getting faster and faster. He kind of squeezes us to the outside. We go to the outside of Ascari, not the best corner to overtake him, but we go deep into the corner by just the smallest margin. I didn't want to squeeze him tight to the 3rd apex. because I thought something was going to happen. I don't normally ever make a move at a score, but apparently we did now. I was just wanting to try something different. Here we have a replay from the Williams right behind us, starting in 10th place with the Force India right behind. You can see went there. He got a good start right off the line. Got on the outside of us, which means we can't kind of boxed in. And as it then we're about to be 3 wide into the first corner, he gets front wing damage into the first corner. And that was the Williams that we just overtook, by the way, the replay from this one. It was the Williams right in front of us. We also have a replay from one of our other boys, longer down the grid in the Haas car. Down in 17th, or 19th, 18th place, can't really see that from here, but you can see kind of a laggy start for him. That looked very, 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 very hard to get through that, because it looked very, very laggy from there. He had a very, very laggy start, but he made it through as well. Even went for a dive down the outside, around the outside. Down the outside. What's the difference, Ian? What's the difference? It's time for lap 2 as the Williams goes for a dive down the inside. He squeezes us onto the curb and we go flying up into the moon. We take some curb boost off there. A bit of an aggressive move. That might be talked about sometime, but I don't know. I want Mega Stewart's report about it. Maybe one on AOR, but I really don't care about it. I'm in this league for fun anyways, and I quite enjoy it. Now one of the other Williams make the move around the outside of the chicane right there. A bit of a daring move, but eventually got through, so we lost a position. And that Williams dive down the inside of the first chicane. He runs steep into the corner. You might have said that I could just back out of that one, but of course I wasn't going to do that. A replay from the Williams that was right behind us. You can see he went for a dive, locked up his brakes as he went to the apex, and then he just squeezed us out to the curb, and that means this other Williams that he got a great run on us through the chicane, but eventually hit the grass on the exit of the chicane. So it's lap number 2, bit of controversial start, but it's time to settle into the race, see how much we can save these tires, see how far into the race we can run them, because we need to go into the mediums. I'm thinking like lap 10 was our strategy we're going to be doing for, but DRS down the long start, finito strat. We're basically doing whatever we can to keep the score behind. We just overtook him anyways, but we're trying to do anything to lap on pace here. I mean, if I normally have a thing where if people are faster than us, there's no point in holding them up. Now the Sauber goes for a dive. He goes straight on with a huge lockup. Second up, this is just a huge dive bomb fest. I mean, there's still a lot of laps remaining. You don't need to go over the move right then and there, but I guess if you want to, I guess you could do whatever you want. We went out onto the gravel right there. Lose a bit of time, but it's not a lot, and eventually we ended up saving. That one, which is very nice indeed. But it's time to settle into the race. See how long we can make these super soft tires. As I talked about before, I normally have that rule where if someone is faster than me, I might as well just let them go. I will not slow down for them, but I might as well just let them go. Because if they're faster than us, there's no point in going for the move, and we'll just get the free DRS and some free slipstream in a little bit of time. But you can see we let this guy go because he's faster than us, so there's no point in battling for that one because he's just going to overtake us again, and then we're going to lose a lot of time, both of us. But now this Williams that went to the gap, went for the move, and lap number 2 squeezed us onto the curb, has now overtaken us down the start-finish straight again. You can see we'll probably get a bit of more free DRS, which is very, very nice indeed. And you can see here we are going through. I don't ever remember what that's once called, Curva del Sol or whatever the freak it's called, Curva del something. Del Roger, I think that's how it is. And you can see we get very, very loose right there, and that's a front wing damage after the chicane on lap number 7. That's probably the points thrown away from this race. There's a small yellow flag, but that's an early pit stop for us, and we need to go into the pits for the medium tires on lap number 7. I was about to say it in Italian, but I don't know the number 7 in Italian, so it's just Deutsch anyways. Enough screaming for me now. Going into the pits, taking this kind of serious because we need to get a new front wing, so we lost a bit of time for that, but we're going on to the medium tires to the end of the race. Just a lap or 2 or 3 before the end of the race. Going through the pit lane, out of the pit lane. We go on the medium tires, down to 13th place, so some miracle will have to happen if we'll get points in this race, because you can see, if you look at the map, how far ahead this guy in front of us is. Called medium tires, not a very lovely thing, especially not in turn 1 here in Monza. You can see absolutely running deep into the corner. managed to survive without any front wing damage or anything like that, but eventually that is how we doing. Also, we already had front wing damage. I think we got front wing damage at that lap 2 incident, because we went onto the curbs. I think, because I don't think you can get front wing damage from curbs, but I just noticed that I have front wing damage after that, and Jeff said it right after that. But here we are, we have a 3-second time penalty, and there's a caution up ahead of us, just a short one, but now we have a 3-second time penalty. We're cruising around, making these medium tires last, trying to see if we can make it up. A big moment from us right there, coming out of the corner, and that could have been very dangerous indeed. And now that means that the Haas will have the run of us, on us out of that corner, and we're overtaken by the Haas of Tempe. That was also the Haas that we saw the race start from earlier, and now we'll have a replay of that one right here. You can see going through a scar area, just got a bit loose, a bit too aggressive on throttling. Because he got a bit loose out on the curb, and eventually managed to save it. And eventually he got past us right there. It's time to see if we can catch up to him. If he's faster than us, right there. But he makes a mistake, and that's us into the position again. Very, very nice stuff right there. Now we're running this place right here. You can see he's catching up to us. He definitely has more pace than us. So, as I said, if we need to let him pass, he can just go if he gets past us. But now there's a safety car on the track because one of the Saubers crashed out. And there's a retirement for one of the Saubers right there. And that means we have a safety car, which this might be the savior of the day, because now we're up close to the field again, up behind. Actually, right behind. This is going to be dangerous. We're actually in 8th place now, which means we're inside of the points, which is really exciting, because now there might be a chance for points. Oh, sorry for that, Erie. But coming through the last parabolica now. Time to let the restart go. You can see a teammate out on the side right there because he was lapped. He got disconnected or something. But it is a green flag, and we're a go for the Monza, the last 2 laps of this Monza race. See if we can keep this position home. And you can see it's a relatively clean race stop, but there's a lot of people into the first corner, and we go deep into the first corner. Touch with one of the Mercedes guys, and we've spun around a bit, and that's a bit of a controversial incident, but I didn't know where to go. I'm sorry about that one, but I didn't know where to go at that point. I didn't realize that these guns were going to be braking so early, so that really caught me out by surprise. And as I said, I was not very fresh at this point because I hadn't slept for 36 hours, and that's us out of the race in quick manner. Crashed into the side barrier, and that's a retirement for the Italian Grand Prix. It was all going so well at that point, but now we're out of the race in literally no time, and that's terrible. Absolutely desperate stuff right there. On other note, the Ferrari taking home his first win of the season, I think. Frico from France, so congratulations to him. I know I've been shouting a lot this episode. I'm sorry. I can kind of feel my voice getting all dead and stuff now because I've been screaming so much. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Final race results. You can see our teammate finished out of the points. We didn't even finish. We could have finished inside of the points, but the one stupid mistake caught me out. I wasn't awake at that point. Got caught sleeping, whatever that's called. And that means we're out of the race with 2 laps to go. How sad can it really be? Like, that was extremely sad. Take a look at the standings as the final thing of this race. MTW1 man leads the standings. We're down in 8th place. Actually, only in front of our own teammate now, which he has only been here for a couple of races. He's absolutely outperforming us until now. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that shit. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.